Was good, you guys? It's your boy, Vacation Time with Ryan. I want to give you guys something new. Sunday mornings with Ryan. So I just want to talk to you guys real quick about the week, anything that's happening current, and we'll just have a conversation, whatever comes to mind. So wake up this morning, whatever comes to mind. So now to wrap up the week and to speak. First of all, what I wanted to kind of really focus this conversation on is I've been labeled passport bro, which that's normal, right? We traveling, we all get labeled that, especially, being our color and traveling, especially if you like women, apparently you're a passport bro. It's crazy, right? I don't claim myself to be one, but everybody else claims me to be one. So whatever. It doesn't bother me. Typically it doesn't bother me. Now, I have a situation recently where it's starting to bother me and not because of, you know, the label or I have an issue with anyone that calls himself that. We're all people that just likes to travel, right? The issue I'm having with the reputation is it's affecting my dating life. You know what I mean? S- So, unlike a lot of people, because some people don't date where they live, they only date when they travel, which is I don't care. I don't care typically what other men do. It's just not my personality. I typically don't care what people do. If you like it, I love it. It makes you happy. Makes me happy. Great. I love seeing people happy. As long as you're not breaking the law, as long as you're not doing nothing stupid. Cool. So me, just out and about speaking, dating, whether it's Instagram or in real life. So more than this has happened to me more than 3 times. The conversation's been coming up. Hey, are you a passport bro? Or hey, I seen your Instagram. You seem like a passport bro. Or da. And typically it's just a little quick laugh and nothing. Because it's not that typically not that big of a conversation in the United States, right? To the average person. That's just for people who really look into it and really, watch these type of videos. But recently, I'm talking to a young lady on Instagram. We, having a conversation, vibe or whatever, whatever. And then she started watching my videos on my page, and I don't hide my page, especially on Instagram, because as an influencer, you can't have your page private. That's counterproductive. You know what I'm saying? It has to be for the world to see. And I don't feel like I got nothing to hide. So what? I travel, whatever. Might do some story times. You might, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's my life. I travel. I'm single. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But somewhere along the lines of life, it's become frowned upon to be my color and travel and actually date in other countries. They just labeled us all passport bros, whether you call yourself one or not, it doesn't matter because the perception of everyone around is going to be how they treat you. Now, some men say, I don't care what they say because they don't date in the United States. Me, I date wherever I'm at. I don't care if I'm in New Zealand. I don't care if I'm in Florida, Canada, uh, Jamaica. I don't care where I'm at. I'm a man first and I enjoy dating women. So wherever I'm at, I'm going to date, right? Obviously, I have a preference where I prefer to date at, but I live here. So it would be crazy for me to say I don't date women here. So, anyways, so this young lady, she got into watching one of my stories, um, which wasn't about me, which was about someone else. Right. I did a recent story about someone else's experience. So she comes to me, she's like, oh my God, I was just watching your stories. It's hilarious. The first time in my life, she's like, I usually don't like scammers, but for the first time in my life, I was happy to see someone get scammed because I did a story about a gentleman that basically got scammed, right, by someone in another country, right? And she was like, it's my first time. I was so happy to hear that. She's like, Typically, I don't like people getting scammed, but in this situation, I'm happy because if it's a passport, bro, basically, then I'm happy because those guys deserve it. And she's like, "Yeah, go girl, get your, you know what I'm saying, get your money." So I'm just like, "Wow, that's interesting, that's crazy." And so, I try to like avoid the conversation to move on because, I'm trying to deal with shorty, like, you know what I'm saying? Um, but she keeps on with it. She's like, "Yeah, those guys are predators. I don't understand." She's like, "Anytime someone can go to Colombia twice in 1 year or every single year and you're not Colombian, like, you're weird, like you're this, you're that." I'm just like, "But what's wrong with enjoying the country Colombia? Like, I don't really see anything wrong with that." She's just like, "I just think it's weird. Like, you're not Colombian. Why are you going there every year?" And I'm just like, "Well, maybe they like Colombia." She was like, "Yeah, but they're going for the girls." She's like, they're going for the girls." Now I said, a lot of guys are going for the girls. This is true. I'm not delusional. See, the difference with me, I can accept truth. So yeah, a lot of guys go because there's beautiful women there and they speak to them easily and whatever, right? Whatever it is. So I said, me personally, they go for, oh, okay, if guys are going to Colombia over and over and over for women, that doesn't bother me. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I've if you find happiness somewhere, as long as you're not harming anyone, as long as you're not bothering me and you're not doing nothing illegal, you're not hurting people in the world, why would that upset me? Like, why would that bother me? And she's like, "I don't give a F. I don't give a F what they do." I'm just like, clearly you do, right? Clearly you do. She's like, "I just think it's predatory," right? So I'm like, okay, well, let's peel that back a layer. Why is it predatory? She's like, "Oh my God, I already said what I said. Like, I thought we were gonna dead this. Like, why are we still talking about this?" I'm like, "You were the one talking about it, so I just want to know, like, how is it predatory?" And then she was just like, I'm going to like some party or something like that. Like, I'm out basically." So we're having a good conversation. We're leading up to something. Everything got killed because she was triggered by my reaction. She felt like, put it like this. She felt like, well, he's defending the passport bro guys, so he must be one, basically. Um, I like to seek. I'm a truth seeker, so I just go with the truth. You're gonna call a group of men predators. I want to know why, and I want to know that you know the definition of the word. And based on how she reacted, I know it's because she doesn't know what the word predator means. That's why she got triggered and she ran away because she doesn't even know the definition of the word and she's calling these men predatory. And they say, "Oh, they exploit women, they're predatory, da 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 da." And then there's a group of people that just they hate the passport bros, quote unquote. Well, cool, cool. That's just an event that happened to me. Now that wasn't the only time. Like this, I'm telling you, it happened more than 3 times, and a lot to a point where I can't remember how many times dating. It's actually happened to me overseas, where a chick overseas was like, "Are you a passport bro?" Because I don't want to be the passport bro. I'm like, so I said, "What is a passport bro?" And I asked her because I'm like, she's foreign. She don't even speak English. What is a passport bro to you? Like, what is it? Because I want to hear her definition. And she's like, "Well, are you one?" I'm like, "What is it? I want to know what it is." She's like, "Oh, just forget it. Just forget about it." And I'm like, "No, but now I'm curious. Like, what do you know about, like, what is that? Like, tell me what it is. I'm curious. What is it?" And then she's just like, "No, just don't worry about it." So that's another one, right? Another situation. I have a lot. I have a lot. So another situation, I was speaking to another young lady, and she literally saw pictures of me in Brazil and Colombia. And she said, "Brazil, Colombia, a lot of passport bro countries." I was like, "Passport bro countries? What? Passport bros got countries now? I didn't know they had countries." I know what she means, and I know what she wants to say. I want people to articulate themselves well and give me real facts and reasons as to why they think the way they do, right? So I'm like, what does that mean? Like, I can't go to Brazil and go see the statue that everyone else sees. Like there's thousands and thousands of people that go take pictures in front of the Christ the Redeemer statue, and you don't question them, men, women, all it don't matter. But if I go, you're saying, well, you've been to Brazil and Colombia. These are passport, bro. Are you a passport, bro? I'm like, jeez, right? And I try to do typically, I try to duck it and I try to change the subject because at the end of the day, when you date, everyone dates for a different reason. Some people date, they just want to hook up and have fun, and some people are looking for something serious. If I'm dating with some type of objective, I don't care what your perception on passport bros is. Let's just talk about something else. But they make it some of them make it impossible to change the subject. Once I hear the mindset, like they're these like kind of men haters, like I kind of try to duck it and just, have a little fun and then keep it pushing. But some of them, like I said, some just make it impossible to duck it and move on. So even with this other chick, she started sending me TikToks about, and in the TikToks, the chick was like, "Oh, 3 signs you're dating a passport, bro. Ladies, if he goes to any one of these countries, he's a passport, bro. It's like Brazil, Colombia, Dominican Republic, like Thailand, da 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 da." So I'm telling Shorty, so I'm like, okay, so you got your source from TikTok, and someone on TikTok told you if he goes to any one of these countries, he's a passport bro. Therefore, you shouldn't speak to him because passport bros are predators and they prey on, poor people or people that are very young and this, that, and the third. And these things are just not true because there's no information to even back that up. Now, what people would do, out of a million people, they'll take a small sample size of people that do bad things, and then they'll label the whole group of people that travel that one thing based on one viral video. They don't look at all the other things. They don't look at people that actually just travel to travel. They don't look at people that go over there and give out money and give money for back to school and go into communities and do stuff. And they don't want to see that. People want to see the negativity. That's why all they speak of is negativity. People see what they kind of want to see, and people kind of are attracted to kind of like the type of personality they have. Notice that genuinely good-hearted people that have a positive outlook on life typically don't have this issue with quote unquote passport bros. It's always the people that have a negative type of outlook on life. Typically the people that are kind of like, I gotta be careful how I speak. This is YouTube, right? But there's a certain type of people that are typically the people that are gonna be like, "Oh, you passport bro, you're a predator, you're this, you're that, you prey on this and that," and y- yeah, there's certain type of people. I'm gonna just put it like that. I ain't getting in no YouTube trouble. Um, but my thing is, don't matter what you call yourself. It don't matter how many times you say, "I'm not a passport, bro." I guarantee you, if people see if people see that you're going to Brazil, Colombia, they're gonna think you're gonna call you a passport, bro. So you guys can say, "I'm not a passport, bro." The YouTubers, you guys can say, or the travelers, you can say, "I'm not this and that," all you want. But your public perception is kind of like how they're gonna treat you, right? Regardless of what you do, regardless of because I mean I'm doing tours in DR, I'm doing stuff like that with no women with me, and it don't matter because people are not gonna dig deep enough to see who you are as a person. They're just gonna call you what they want to call you and have a reason to push forward and move on. So, anyways, the perception with this passport bro thing is starting to get a little annoying, but it's all good, because I love to see men traveling, having a good time, whether it's dating, whether it's getting married, having children, whether it's moving, becoming expats, and all of that. I love it all because I love to see people happy because I'm a good hearted person. Some people thrive and gravitate towards negativity and spewing hate, and that's just who they are. So they're going to see a group of people, and you see one or two bad apples, and then they're gonna say, "Oh, all those guys over there, because they're genuinely negative people. They love negativity, they love drama, they gravitate towards it. I see some channels that you see the chat, and the chat is so negative, and they feed off negativity, and they're roasting anybody that comes on the panel. And if you look at when I go live, if you look at my chat, you typically don't see that. You typically just see brothers speaking and adding to the conversation because that's what I'm attracting because that's what I put out. I don't put out like I'm not a negative person, put it that way. I'm just not. And I'm not saying other brothers are. I'm not saying other brothers are because if I had 1,000 people in the chat, I guarantee it would be a lot of negativity. So I'm not a big content creator. So it could just be that. But also I do also think that, I'm just a positive person where I see the world through positivity. I know there's bad people. I know there's bad things that happen, but I'm not just gonna label a group of people something without facts to back it up. Um, so so yeah, I thought that was interesting. So that's interesting. So me personally, I didn't find out about traveling through YouTube. I've been traveling since before I could talk. My mother and father are Jamaican, right? So I've been taken to Jamaica before I could even walk and talk. Um, and so I have Jamaica and then there's Canada. So I've been traveling all my life. I wasn't introduced to traveling through YouTube. Um, Nowadays, a lot more people are traveling because of YouTube. See, the internet is a gift and a curse. It's a gift. It's a beautiful thing. It gives us information. We learn a lot from YouTube, from Google, and online nowadays. You know what I'm saying? But it's bad as well because they can paint false narratives real easy, and it's easier to sell a juicy, drama-driven, negative story than it is to sell a positive, truthful story. So sometimes negativity spreads a lot faster. You get me? So no matter how much people in the travel community try to do good things and show like, hey, listen, man, there's good people out here that travel and this, that, and the third. It doesn't matter. They're not gonna see that. People gravitate towards negativity, right? So that's that, man. I just thought I just on a brighter note, like I just think it's interesting. Like I said, I date wherever I'm at, man. I'm not like only gonna date when I travel. That I don't have that level of patience. Now, when I'll admit I date less here because I work more here. So when I'm here, I'm in work mode. I'm not in vacation mode. I'm not in relaxed mode. I don't have a bunch of free time and just wake up like, oh, what's to do today? Like I would if I was in another country. I every day I work, I work 80 hours a week, you know what I'm saying? And on the weekends, when I don't have to clock in, I actually have to do this. I have to do my content because it's something I'm passionate about and I love to do. But it's still kind of like work because you're putting work in, you know what I'm saying, towards whatever you want to do in the future. So I have to do a lot of content. I have to do a lot of editing on the weekends when I have a clear, free mind. And guess what? I got to wake up and I got to go to the gym. I'm on my way to go running right now. And I came with this idea and I said, oh, let's speak to the people and just do something raw. I ain't got to edit it up and chop it up. I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to push it out and see how I do. If it don't do good, I'll stop doing it. If it does okay, fair, my normal numbers, I'll keep doing it every Sunday. If you guys like it, put it in the chat. If you guys like these type of videos, put it in the chat. It's gonna be raw as can be because I'm not gonna go out and edit. I'm just gonna push it out. I'll do a thumbnail. That's about it. But so if you guys like these conversations, let me know. I'll do this every Sunday. There's no problem. Um, but yeah, so to wrap my week up, man, I'll call it. Even though Sunday is technically the first day of the week, not the last, but we kind of look at Sunday as the last day of the week. So to wrap my week up, I'll say lift. This is not financial advice, by the way. I'll just run through this real quick. Stock, Lyft, LYFT, ticker symbol LYFT has been great for me. I started trading stock options again. anything that's remote, I'm trying to stack into my arsenal so I can just travel the world and not have to keep coming back to work. So Lyft was beautiful. And if you watch my live streams, I've been talking about Lyft for a little while, like when it was like $16 and I said, yo, it's gonna boost. And it did a nice juicy boost pause this past week. And I made some money off of it. So tap into the Patreon where I'll be talking a lot more about finance stuff because for some reason people don't want to hear that on this channel. It's a vacation channel. But Patreon, we could talk about that all day. What else happened? Yeah, that was the main topic I wanted to talk about. So, how do you guys feel about everything I just said? Do you still date in the United States, or did you just give up on dating in the USA? Because I know this is a travel community. How do you feel about chicks checking me about being a passport bro in dating now, even overseas, not only here and overseas? I've been asked about it or whatever. Even though I don't claim myself to be a passport bro, I'm not offended when people call me one because I can understand why you would call me one because I travel and I do date wherever I'm at. So I get it. I get why you would think that or why you would say that. I get it. And I'm not offended at all by any means. And I actually want passport bro movement to better the reputation. And if I could help that, I can help that, even though I don't claim to be one. Whatever. They all gonna call me one regardless, right? But put it in the comments. I don't want to talk your head off too much. We're gonna throw this out there. It's your boy Vacation Time with Ryan. Join the conversation in the comments, man. Let's talk about it. Um, and yeah, anything you want to add to the conversation, just put it in the comments. Get at me email or Instagram if you got anything you want me to talk about. And I got some more stories times coming. Don't worry, I got you guys emails. I got some stories. I got all that. I got a lot of work to do. I got some more videos I got to edit from my DR trip. So this was just something easy to put out. So I'm gonna just push this out right now. Appreciate you guys, man. All the love, support, anything. Comments is support, likes is support, shares, anything, Start the conversation, You got your other travel homies, say, hey, man, what do you guys think about this? Has this ever happened to you? Hey, let's push forward. Let's push forward. Um, yeah, that's about it. Vacation time with Ryan. Peace. Sorry, I was just trying to make sure I didn't leave anything out. But all right, guys. Peace. Oh yeah, one more thing before I go. Now, Cuba, it should be my next destination, but if not, where should I go next? I've heard Guatemala, I've heard Cuba, I've heard a lot of people saying Thailand. Obviously, Thailand would be a lot more difficult. I want to get there, but it would be harder to get there. Um, so that might take a little bit more time to put together. Cuba, I might could just go there for an extended weekend. It's literally 1 hour flight from Miami. So I should be able to put that together. But yeah, put it in the comments, man. I appreciate you guys. All love, man. Vacation time, right? Peace.